Hi, how are you? Thank you so much for joining me. Please like and subscribe my page. So the goal today is to make a beach theme resin coaster and coaster holder, also a 7 by 12 inch tray. First thing I do, take my sand. It's sand that I collected myself from the beach. I add a little pre-mixed resin. I've mixed the resin off camera because it takes normally 3 to 5 minutes to mix, that you have to be mixing and stirring your resin. So therefore I add just a little bit of resin to the sand. That would make the sand wet. I want it wet but not soaked, so that when I put the sand in the coaster, or in the mold rather, it would stay in one place. It does not move. And as I add more resin to the molds, the sand does not float away or get into parts of the coaster that I do not want them. Here I am using a dark blue mica powder, and that would represent your deep ocean. Then I'm using a light blue resin pigment that represents the more shallow water. I like to add my outer colors first. In this case, it is my dark blue resin. And then I like to add my lighter colors, or my inner colors. What this does is it helps to push the darker colors to the outside, and the lighter colors would remain on the inside. Now I am adding shells. I also collected these shells from the beach myself. There's a particular beach here, if you go at low tide, there are a lot of tiny shells, and they are so beautiful. You have to press the shells down because you do not want the shells to stick above the level of the coaster themselves. If the shells are sticking above, then your coasters will not be flat. So whenever you put a glass on it or a cup on it, it will be uneven and could probably topple over. So you want to make sure that you use the right size shells and you press them down into your sand, and they are completely covered with resin. At this point, I realized that I had not mixed up enough resin. Therefore, I went back and mixed a little bit more because I needed to fill up the coaster holder. I didn't have quite enough for that. As you can see, there are some bubbles in my resin right now, but don't worry, I will use a heat gun and get rid of those. Right now I am adding some white, some resin with white paste. The paste was a little bit lighter in color than I wanted. I really wanted a nice, strong white color. But this particular paste is not that. It's a little more sheer, but I already mixed it up, so I had to use it, and I just tried my best to make it work. When I tried to use the heat gun, my molds were already kind of full, and I put the heat gun on high. That blew some of my resin out of my molds, but that's okay. It happens sometimes. I have to remember, I was trying to use the heat gun on high because I wanted to create the wave-like pattern with the white, but that didn't happen. Now I'm working on my tray. So I needed a little bit more sand. I added I mixed up a little bit more sand, pardon me. And at this point I had to mix some more resin again. I like to make my resin in smaller batches. Resin can sometimes flash cure, and when this happens, it gets hot, it gets hard, and you are unable to use it. As you know, resin is very expensive, so you do not want your resin to flash cure on you and waste money for a product that you cannot use at the moment. My shells I added, putting them in a really beautiful pattern. Sometimes I like to play around with them and see how I want to, what kind of design I want to make. Because of the size of the tray, I was able to use a few larger shells, and I put those ones in the corner so that if they're going to stick up a little bit, and if you are using the tray, or when you're using the tray, they're all the way in the corner, so hopefully it will not affect anything that you rest on the tray. As you can see, I have added my dark blue resin, and now mixing up my lighter blue, and I will add that to my mold. That is going to push the dark blue ocean color out towards the edge of the mold. I want to make sure I have enough resin to cover the sand as well. And this is where I would add my clear. The clear resin really helps both colors to mix and blend very well together. And the clear resin over the sand ensures that you can see the sand, the color of the sand, without that blue tint or that blue hue. So now that that's finished, I am attempting to add my white for my waves once again. I'm using the stick. I didn't want to blow because the mold was full, so I'm just using the stick to kind of move it over a little bit. And I let everything dry for 12 to 24 hours. Usually with my resin, at 12 hours it's already hard. I can take it off the mold if I want to, or I can just leave it there for 24 hours. And there you have it. Those are really nice. They came out much better than I thought. Nice and clear, and everything fits together perfectly. There you have it. The tray. The waves the waves came out a little bit better because as the tray hardened, I added a second layer of the white pigment paste. Thank you so much for joining me. Please like and subscribe my channel once again, and share it if you have the opportunity to. I hope that you learned something today, and let me know what you'd like to see me make for you. Have a great day. Happy painting.